everyone, I'm Nate with the Yukon Project, and I've spent over a decade working with lenders. And now I'm ready to give you the insider's perspective. Today, we're going to take a look at Avant loans. So if I scroll down to their homepage a little bit, we're going to find their loan ranges. And here we are. They have loans from $2,000 to $35,000 for personal loans. These are going to be unsecured loans. That means you don't have to put up property, a house, a car, anything like that to get the loan. They're just going to trust that you're going to pay it back. They've got APRs ranging from 10% roughly to 36%. And they've got loan terms ranging from 12 months to 60 months. So these are pretty good loan ranges. So if you're getting a loan for $2,000, an APR of 36%, that's pretty much what you can expect. You're not going to find anything better than that in almost any case. That's just where the loans are because of cost. And most of the time, a lot of lenders don't even lend as low as $2,000. Many banks, credit unions, and other places, they start their loans at $4,000, $5,000, or even $6,000 just because they don't want to charge the 36% APR, or even at 36% APR, they don't know how to do it well enough to be profitable. If you did a cash advance on a credit card, you'd probably effectively paying that same 35, 36%. Just the terms would be a little bit different and it wouldn't be guaranteed. They've got a late fee here. It says if your payment is scheduled to not be paid in full within 10 days after your due date, then you're going to be charged a late fee of $25. $25 late fee, that's not egregious. It's about standard for most lenders. But this 10 days grace period, that's actually pretty unique. I don't see a lot of companies that'll give you 10 days for a personal loan. Usually they're going to charge you 1 day or 2 days after. They've also got a dishonored payment fee of $15. And so that means that if they try to draft your account because you set up ACH, or if you send in a check and it bounces, they're going to charge you $15 each and every time that happens. And I don't even really like seeing these fees because you can't even process them. And sometimes accidents happen. But this doesn't tell me that I shouldn't use them. It just tells me that you really ought to be very careful about your payments and make sure you're ready to be paid on time every time, especially if you're letting them do an automated ACH, which is probably going to be required. And then they've got an administration fee up to 4.75%. So this is effectively an origination fee. It means it's a fee they're going to charge you, and they're going to take that out of the loan amount. All right, will there be a fee or a balloon payment? I think that's always a good thing to notice here if you take a look at lenders, and this is something that I want to point out. So they have no fees for paying off the loan early, and there's no balloon payment at the end of the loan. So you pay your loan on time every month. They say they're fully amortizing. So if you pay your loan on time every month, once you reach the end of the payment, there'll always be a $0 balance. They don't charge a balloon payment, and that's a good thing. I think that always is a little bit scary for me when I hear about a company charging a balloon payment at the end. It makes you've been paying a lot of interest and then you're carrying over, and then you've got to figure out how to refinance that balloon payment unless you've been saving a lot of money at the end. But the even bigger part is there's no fees for paying off the loan early. I think this is a great thing, and it's something that all lenders ought to do. We want you to get out of debt. We want you to pay off the loan, and we want you to save interest. And so if there's fees for paying off the loan earlier, they're saying they want you to keep paying that interest over time, and they're charging you for not paying that interest. I think that's a good thing. It disincentivizes people to pay their bills early on time, and we always want to pay debts on time, and we want to pay them early if possible to save our interest. Making sure that there's no fees for paying off early is basically a box I always want to check before I would ever consider taking a loan. Who qualifies for these loans, and what's a typical credit score for an Avant customer? Well, if you take a look in here, what it's saying is that most of their customers who get their loans are going to have a credit score from 600 to 700. Having a credit score under 700 sometimes makes it pretty hard to get personal loans, but they're serving customers in the 600 to 700 range. 36% APR on a $2,000 loan with a credit score of 620, that's about as good as you'll ever find anywhere. So they know that the loan's important to you, and so they're going to get to work quickly, most often getting you the money within the following business day. So this is important. So there's two pieces here. So first off is the underwriting. Given who they are and the fact that they're an online lender, they're really going to do almost all of their underwriting automated. So if all your information is good and in correct order, they can be approved in probably 30 seconds, maybe 3 minutes. And then it's going to take a little time because they have to go through the banking process and the ACH process. And so that's why it may take the following business day for you to see your funds. So it's a little bit about the time of day that you apply and what day of the week you apply as to when you'll see your money. But you can really think that if you're going to get approved, you're going to be able to get the money the next day or the day after that. And so if we roll down to the footer, there's a couple of things you should always take a look at. So one, terms of use. This is a big sign. If there's no terms of use here, run away from that lender, run away quickly. You want to make sure they have all the basics in here, site security, linking all of their information about how they use their data, how they grant it, and how they protect your information. Always want to make sure that every lender you find has a privacy policy and they show that information. If they don't have a privacy policy and they ought to have a couple of different parts of it, then that's a sign that you don't want to do business with that. Avant branded credit products are issued by WebBank. This means that Avant is the front-end processor. They're going to do the acquisition, they're going to do the process, but the actual lender is the WebBank. So WebBank is the one that's actually giving you the money and handling that note. If you roll over and look at WebBank's page, you'll see that they are regulated by the FDIC. And so any issues and all legal requirements are bound by the FDIC. Avant is just the front-end brand that's doing the processing, the underwriting, and making sure that you understand what's going on in the process. So quick recap of Avant.com. They look pretty good. They've got $2,000 to $35,000 loans. They've been around for quite a while. They've served a lot of customers, thousands and thousands of customers, and they've got really good rates for customers who have credit scores below 700. A 36% APR, even though it sounds kind of high on a $2,000 loan, is actually a really fair rate. If you pay that off in over a year, you're really only talking about paying $200, $300, maybe $400 in interest and fees. That's a pretty good fair deal. You're not going to find that with a lot of places for a loan like $2,000. If you go up into the $20,000 and $30,000 range, then a 36% APR is pretty high, and I might try to look around for somebody else and see if there's a little bit better rates. But overall, they offer really good loan amounts. They offer a fair rate. While I don't really love administration fees, I think it's necessary in this business in order for them to stay afloat. So that's not a bad thing. I wouldn't count that against them. I think they're a good, fair company. They've got all the proper regulations and regulatory processes. So all in all, I think Avant's a good place to go. If I was in the credit score range of 600 to 700 and needed $2,000, $3,000, $4,000 quick, this is a great place to go. It's only about a 2-day turnaround to get your money, so then you can get out there and get your car fixed, whatever you might need. I think that's a really good place to start. This is Nate with the Yukon Project. Hopefully we've helped you today learning a little bit about Avant loans. If we did, go ahead and like and subscribe, and stay tuned for more reviews from the Yukon Project.